I was born in London, but America, that's where I learned the hard truths about money, about fear, about greed, and about value. Most people know me as the father of value investing, but honestly, I was just a man trying to make sense of why people gamble their lives away in a system they barely understand. Security analysis. The Intelligent Investor. Yes, I wrote those books, but what I really wanted to teach was this. The stock market is not your enemy, it's your mirror. It reflects your hopes, your fears, and your character. The real game isn't out there on Wall Street. It's in here, in your heart. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your money disappears faster than you earn it? Like the game is rigged, and you're always the last to know, or that every time you try to get ahead, life throws another setback? I've been there. In 1929, I watched everything collapse. Fortunes turned to dust. And I realized this wasn't just about finance. This was about psychology, about human nature, about discipline in a world addicted to drama. So I made a choice, not just to invest money, but to invest in understanding it. Hey, if you're into real, down-to-earth money talks and mindset shifts that actually teach you something, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. I drop gems like this every single day to help you think bigger, plan smarter, and build a life that truly works. Point 1. Price versus value. One of the biggest lies Americans are sold is this: if the stock price is going up, the company must be doing great. Wrong. That's like saying if a house's price triples overnight, the plumbing must have fixed itself. No. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. If I had to tattoo just one line on every investor's wrist, that would be it. Let me tell you a story. In the early 1930s, I was managing money during one of the worst financial winters in American history. There was a shoe company, let's call it American Walkers. Its stock price had doubled in 6 months. Everyone was buying it. Brokers were shouting its name. Newspapers were calling it the next great recovery stock. But I wasn't convinced. So I did something few people bother to do. I read the financial statements, and what I found was shocking. The company had declining sales, mounting debt, and more shoes in the warehouse than it could sell in a year. So while others were buying, I stayed away. 6 months later, the company went bankrupt. You see, they confused appearance with value, just as most investors will do. Price is a story people tell themselves. But value is what's left when the story ends. Go ahead and type that in the comments section, and I will give you a heart. Price is a story people tell themselves, but value is what's left when the story ends. Take a pause and allow this sink in properly. Point 2. The market is a person. Imagine the market as a man named Mr. Market. Every day he comes to your door and offers to buy or sell shares at wildly different prices. Some days he's euphoric, offering very high bids. Other days he's depressed, offering you shares for pennies. So what's your job? Don't take advice from Mr. Market. Take advantage of his mood swings. Let me tell you about a time Mr. Market almost fooled me. During World War II, fear dominated every corner of American life. Investors fled stocks and piled into bonds and cash. I was managing a portfolio at the time, and Mr. Market came knocking every day with a lower price. Friends begged me to sell. Ben, we might lose everything. War changes the rules. But I looked at the fundamentals of the companies we owned. They were strong, profitable. They were building tanks, trucks, and equipment for the war effort. And I said no. By the time the war ended, those same companies had tripled in value. You don't argue with a madman. You don't dance with his emotions. You just quietly do your homework, wait, and strike when it makes sense. Patience isn't alluring, but it's profitable. So would you rather be patient and enjoy unending profits, or be impatient and forever regret knowing about Mr. Market? Have a thought on this question, and give yourself a response. Choose wisely. If you're getting value from this message and you want me to continue, like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I drop messages like this every day to build your mindset and finances. Thank you. Let's continue. Point 3. The real enemy, emotion. Let me be painfully honest with you. You don't lose money because the market is cruel. Most people lose money not because the market betrayed them, but because they betrayed themselves. They panic when the market falls. They get greedy when it rises. They buy hype, they sell fear, and then they blame everyone but the person in the mirror. The real investors are calm, grounded, boring, and even. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to not be a fool. That's it. There was a man I once advised in the 1940s. He was smart, wealthy, Ivy League educated, but every time the market dipped, he panicked. He'd call me, "Ben, should I sell? Should I pull out now?" I'd ask him, "Did the value of your business change in the last 24 hours?" No, but the stock dropped 5%, and that was enough for him to hit the eject button, again and again. You can't build wealth in a constant state of emotional retreat. Real investing requires you to be a little boring, just grounded. The ones who survive aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who stay the calmest. Your calmest might be your smartest move. Write that on the comments section, and I will give you a heart. Your calmest might be your smartest move. Point 4. Why this matters to the average American. I'm not talking to fund managers right now. I'm talking to you, the middle school teacher trying to save for retirement. I'm talking to the dad who just had to cancel vacation because the water heater broke. I'm talking to the single mother wondering whether to buy diapers or gas. You may not think you're an investor, but if you have a savings account, a 400K, or even a few dollars in your pocket, you are. And the difference between financial peace and poverty is rarely luck. It's education. It's discipline. It's knowing the difference between a trend and a trap. Let me tell you about Mrs. Alvarez. She was a janitor at a small public school in Brooklyn. She took my night class at Columbia, sat in the back, never said a word, but she showed up every week. 30 years later, I received a letter from her. She had invested slowly, steadily, in good companies. She retired debt-free, with enough saved to send all her grandchildren to college. She didn't play the market. She respected it, and in return it respected her. So, let me ask you this one question. Do you respect the market during highs and dips, or do you run around panicking? Have a thought on this question, and give yourself a response. Point 5. My regret and my hope. I lived through wars, depressions, scandals. I taught thousands of students, including a young man named Warren Buffett. But do you know what I regret? That most people never read between the lines of my work. They thought investing was about charts and numbers. No, it was always about character. Do you have the strength to say no when others scream yes? Do you have the patience to wait while others rush? Do you have the wisdom to value substance over show? Have a thought on this question, and give your response in the comments section, and I will give you a heart. If you do, you don't need to predict the market. You'll win by simply surviving long enough for logic to reward you. I hope that you stop chasing the hottest tip and start building the strongest mindset, because in the end, the greatest investment you'll ever make is not in a stock, it's in your temperament. Finally, here's my challenge for you. The next time someone brags about their latest hot stock, ask them what the business is really worth. Ask them what margin of safety they built in. Ask them how they'll sleep if it all vanishes tomorrow. Because in the end, the best investor isn't the one who makes the most. It's the one who loses the least and learns the fastest. This isn't just about finance. This is about freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from noise. Freedom to live wisely in a world that rewards chaos. My name is Benjamin Graham, and if you remember nothing else, remember this: the market is a voting machine in the short term, but in the long term it's a weighing machine. Weigh carefully, my friend. Invest with thought, live with peace, and never confuse price with value. If this video brought you value, or stirred something in you, give it a like. Subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Videos like this take weeks of research, writing, and care to create. Don't just watch and go away. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most. Remember, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. but an investment without knowledge pays the highest tuition. So weigh carefully, live wisely. I will see you on the next one.